everybody. I wanted to do another science experiment with you. I want to test and see which one of these objects has more volume. So to do that, we need 2 cups the same size with the same amount of water. See, I filled it just under these marks on the glass so we can tell how much is in there. And these objects are objects that sink to the bottom. So if you did an experiment about sink or float, you're going to use objects that are okay to be in water and that sink to the bottom. So very much like if you take a bath, when you get in the water, you raise the water level up. You're taking up space in the tub and you've moved the water around to make space for you. So if you're going to take a bath, you couldn't fill the tub all the way up to the top and then try to get in it. The water would spill over the top. So we're just going to see where the water level goes when we put these objects in the water. So you want to have objects that are about the same size, but they're obviously not the same shape.
But did you already put them in?
I did not already put them in yet.
So can I do it?
Yes. How about you take the mermaid and put her in the clear cup? Okay.
Okay, she grows.
And now take this. What shape is this?
Hexagon.
Hexagon. Stick the hexagon in there.
Let's
see what happens. All right, let's look. Well, our water level rose up because it was below this mark here where the design is in the cup, and it no. See what happens when you put. That's why I brought the tongs out here. Look what happened when DJ put his hand in the water. What happens? What does the water level do? Yep. Okay, let go for a second. We're going to use these tongs to get the objects out because what happens is, and I don't know how we're going to get that one out because it's flat on the bottom, but we can get our mermaid out here. What happens is when you stick your hand in the water level rises up. Okay, so we saw the water level rise up because as you can see, taking the mermaid out made the water level go back down to where it was originally. So we can see that was pretty much the same amount of volume. So let's just test it. Hold on, before we get that out, let's test it with a smaller object. So I do have this square here. Let's see if we can see a difference in the water level with the square. Do you want to place it inside the water?
Wow,
all right, that sunk, but as you can see, the water level rose, but it's not as high of a water level as the hexagon is. So this hexagon has more volume than the square does. So we could test it out with other objects here. We can play around with it and try to add more objects. So let's see what happens when we add the penguin, how much the water level rises in here, because this one's lower. Ooh, it went up a little bit. Still not as much volume as that hexagon is. Let's see if we add the chickie in here.
And let's see how the mermaid in here.
Oh, a little bit. Ooh, look how much higher the water level is on this one with the hexagon and the mermaid. Where should we put the eraser?
In here.
Oh, ooh. It's still not as much. Look at that.
Okay.
These objects together here are showing more volume than these objects together here. Very interesting. So play around with it, see what kind of objects you can find and what you can do. And yep, when you put your hand in the water, what happens to the water? It's gonna go over the edge. So yeah, having these handy little tongs to get your objects out are very helpful. And that'll keep your water levels the same too as you're trying this experiment out. So thank you for listening, and I hope you get the chance to try this at home.